In the fall of 1988, Kevin Corrigan left behind his alma mater of Virginia to become the second head coach in the history of Notre Dame lacrosse. While admittedly not sure what he was getting into as far as Midwest lacrosse, he watched Lindsey Nelson recaps of Irish football games as a kid, and his father was the athletic director at Notre Dame, so he was well versed in the Irish mystique, and he believed it was a special school where lacrosse could succeed. By 1990, he had 16 career wins, and the Irish were in the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history. 5 years later, Corrigan checked the next box on his to-do list when Notre Dame went into Durham and upset fifth-seeded Duke for its first NCAA tournament victory and the first postseason win by a Western school. Things were a little different in 2001 as the 12-1 Irish entered the NCAA tournament a seeded team, and with a quarterfinal victory over Johns Hopkins, Corrigan had Notre Dame on its way to its first Final Four. Is there a better way to announce your arrival as a contender than by beating Johns Hopkins in the state of Maryland? Corrigan picked up 15 wins in 1 year in 2009 when Notre Dame authored its only undefeated regular season, which was highlighted by victories over Loyola and North Carolina. The 2010 team was anything but perfect, but despite some head-scratching losses, the Irish earned an NCAA bid, and the team we saw in May was the same team we saw in February. With wins over Princeton, Maryland, and Cornell, the Irish made their first appearance in the championship game on Memorial Day. Think about that run for a moment. A team with regular season losses to Rutgers and Fairfield defeated 3 schools in the postseason that had combined to win 11 national championships. A new era of Irish lacrosse began in 2014 as Notre Dame joined the ACC. Many wondered how Corrigan's squad would hold its own in such a powerhouse league. Well, they didn't have to wait long for an answer. In its first ACC tournament, the Irish rallied in the final minute to beat Maryland and then held on for dear life to knock off Syracuse to win the conference championship. That drama was just a prelude for the 2014 team. In the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament, Notre Dame squared off with Albany. It appeared the Great Danes were running to Baltimore with a 12-7 fourth quarter lead. The Irish, though, did not stop fighting and forced overtime. In OT, Maddie iced it for the Irish, and it was Notre Dame, not Albany, going to championship weekend. In 2015, Corrigan picked up what might be the most symbolic victory of what he has built in South Bend. With an overflow crowd at Arlotta Stadium to see a #1 against #2 matchup, Notre Dame scored 3 goals in the final minute and a half to beat North Carolina. The celebration on the field afterwards is probably the greatest scene in the history of Midwest lacrosse. One of Kevin Corrigan's favorite quotes is from the movie Magnum Force, when Clint Eastwood as Dirty Harry says, "A man's got to know his limitations." But 300 wins later, we know Kevin Corrigan has refused to put limitations on Notre Dame lacrosse.
He's looking for the hat trick, and he's got it. 13-6, Coach Corrigan gets his 300th career win at Notre Dame.